Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Twisted and the Twilight, where today we have a question of strategy. So far, a lot of our decision-making has been very, immediate needs-driven. You know, we had enemies right on our borders, we had, very obviously needed to deal with the heathlands around the Witchwood. Now that we've got all that stuff kind of under control, we're entering a phase where we're very self-directed. There's a lot of stuff we could do. So, let's talk about our needs here. Let's talk about our incentives. First of all, obviously, it's going to be a lot easier to do everything if we have a second army. We're still not in a great place, income-wise, to run a whole second stack. We have a lot of money, but that's only because we've been fighting. So if we want to build and maintain an actual second army, we need to keep fighting. My feeling is we should have the sisters push the Dark Elves, or Clan Rictus, if we can... this stuff's probably theirs, right? In order to make a whole bunch of money, we should build up this second army, and then this second army should be responsible for figuring out some of these Confederation quests, because there are so many elves that want to join us, that want to work under our brilliant leadership. We just have to convince them, just like a tiny little bit. So that's my plan for how we're going to do that. Are we going to start recruiting now? Do we want to start rebuilding this army at this point? Once your legendary lord has reached the level necessary to make a unit recruitable, all of your armies can recruit it from the pool. So we can pull in these units toward when it's about time to go, and thus only pay their upkeep once once we're ready to fight, as opposed to units that you have to recruit slowly. But notice how expensive the per turn upkeep on some of this stuff is. The unit of Zotes here is 600 gold per turn by itself. So we need a lot more income, a lot more income, or a lot more money. Right now, we do not have any local recruitment buildings because we're still working on the Vale actually being functional. I don't think we're going to start recruiting yet. Let's build the gold pile a little bit more, and of course, to do that, we're going to have to make some money. Now, another thing to consider is we could definitely make money by getting trade routes going with all of the High Elf factions, but we can only do that if we own a port. And ports only work for trade route purposes if they are connected to your capital by a contiguous line of places you own. So, if we're going to grab the Twisted Glade, which seems like the sensible one to me, we also need to own Venom Glade and Hotex Column. So that's where we're going today. That's the beginning of my plan for the day. Let's go claim the Venom Glade. Oh, never mind. We do not want to... We do not want to settle a settlement right in front of an enemy army. Let's head down here a little bit. Is there much of a difference? You can see in the open area we're seeing a 70% success chance, but in the trees it's 75. I thought the difference was bigger than that, but we should probably... Actually, we can just attack them. They're totally in range, and they're tired. And their units are mostly pretty garbage. They have one of their regiments of renown. But aside from that, this is a lot of tier 1 noise. Yeah, let's just go stomp those guys. What are you doing here? This is an easy enough one. I might... Even though this is not a huge amount of health, I think we're going to take this. Okay, Ariel is being followed by a young stag, which is just like normal elf stuff, happens all the time. Nobody thinks that's weird? Nobody? Alright, do we want to grab some of this stuff? We don't have a ton of flying units, so the upkeep reduction here is not going to be terribly significant. I think let's grab Arahan's Reckoning first. And remember, this is how much we're struggling on money, even after taking all of the upkeep reductions from our legendary lord. If we had not done that, we would be in an even worse place, if you can imagine such a thing. Alright. I wish that we were a little closer to Venom Glade. I wish we had enough movement left to go into ambush mode. I'm real nervous about just sitting here, but I don't want to march away. Because if there is a Skaven army in Hotex Column or something, I don't want it to be the case that we just get caught out and murdered the way we caught out and murdered those people. Do we want to cap the Witchwood? It'll be an extra 50 gold per turn. We'll be able to build one more building in the Witchwood, but I don't think that's worth it. And we're 2 turns off of the Veil being upgraded? Yeah, so... Alright, let's just sit on it for the moment.
Harmony has prevailed.
Uh-oh. I think that Elithanar might be planning on settling Venom Glade. I do not feel safe grabbing it, but I do feel like if we don't take it, we're going to be in trouble. So, we're going to be in trouble in terms of establishing our own port. So I guess let's do it. And then the Sisters are probably going to have to play a lot of defense in that area, because the Dark Elves are going to be attacking that line of settlements, like, constantly. But that's alright, beating up Dark Elf armies is a really good source of money, it turns out. Especially if you specialize for it. The Dark Elves have a lot of stuff. They have a lot of shiny, fancy stuff. It takes a lot of skill and craftsmanship and a lot of metal to craft all those little spikes. So, you know, decent resale value.
No threat. Moving with grace.
Alright, it's going to be a risky moment here.
Remain calm.
Yeah, we have one turn during which this army is functionally useless. Where did where'd what's her name come back?
Of the domain.
Oh, she respawned at Val's Anvil. Okay. That's cool. Let's have her run up and try to shank this guy. Yeah, pretty decent chance. Only a 5% chance of accidentally stabbing herself.
Show them true valor.
Yeah, do it. Stab that guy in the back, but, you know, valorously.
Kurnos, forgive my failure.
Okay. Oh dear, it's Tretch Craventail. Now, his movement range shows that he can reach us, but keep in mind he's in March mode right now. With 50% less movement, I bet he can't actually attack Venom Glade. Because remember, you can't initiate combat in March mode. Varcio is still gaining skill points. I guess... Does any of this stuff affect your map actions? No, this is all army stuff. Yeah, okay, take the last map action skill. And then eventually we'll start picking up combat unit stuff, and maybe eventually Varcio will end up in someone's army. That could totally happen. Alright, fingers crossed that it is in fact the case that Tretch Craventail cannot reach us. Alright, we should check in with Avalorn, because they're showing a very happy looking green face. They might like us enough for the stuff to get going. Oh no! Pestilost spread a plague in Venom Glade. Hopefully our army doesn't catch that. We need to get away from that settlement, though. So, when it's in a settlement, the Skaven plague dramatically reduces the growth of the settlement, and I think it damages the garrison. And then it can spread to other nearby armies and settlements. If an army gets it, it damages the troops and completely disables their ability to replenish for the duration. So that army just has to basically run from combat for several turns. And it would be really, really bad for our only functional army to get emplagued here. The good news is, they did not attack us. You monsters. Alright, this army's not very good. That's the good news. Let's see. What do we want from you? So, Strider, when mounted on a... Okay, obviously, that's not a big deal. Here we go. Causes terror when mounted on a Great Eagle, and all of your Hawk Riders cause fear. That's not hugely relevant for Hawk Riders most of the time, I don't think. How exactly does cause fear work? Frightens nearby enemy units. I guess I don't actually know. I always thought of this as a thing that affects people that you are in melee with. But I guess maybe the eagles will scare people from the sky. If that's the case, this would actually be pretty handy to pick up. Just like the eagles being a flying negative leadership aura. Certainly seems interesting. Vanguard deployment for War Dancers and Blade Singers. Vanguard deployment for Wildwood Rangers. I think we're going to take Death from Above here. And we'll finish off Fleet Finger next turn. Alright, so in Venom Glade, let's just build... Oh, we do have access to furs. I kind of want to just build the one that gives the best defenses, though. 2 units of Glade Guard, which I think it's this one. Plus, this one lowers recruitment times in the surrounding area. And alright, so we're going to run forward, away from the settlement, like up to here, I think. And then just go into ambush mode. Hopefully this will be far enough away that we won't get plagued. And if they try to travel along the road, maybe they'll wander into our red area? Maybe. We'll see. Oh, hey, look, it's Crone Hellebron. She's back, and she brought a worse army? It's entirely Dread Spears. Well, I'm certainly not afraid of them. Hey, guys. Could I perhaps request a little bit of assistance? Oh, are you not at war with them? Okay. Well, then go after Tretch. I was going to ask for help with Crone Hellebron, but Alithanar's not at war with the Dark Elves. And then, while we're here, 16 trending downward. Ah, now we are a greater power. Okay, but this is looking compelling. Could we get military access? That'd be super helpful. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so 2 treaties with them is another 25 points of reputation, and they're not going to get mad at me for using their territory to get to the beach. That's, like, extremely great news. So the moment we can get a defensive alliance with them, all of a sudden the forest is going to begin healing itself, and we're not going to have to think about it, like, ever again. So that's good news. She's at war with Safari. What's Safari's deal right now? They're at war with everyone, and declaring war on them would probably not be very dangerous, because there's no beaches around Gaean Vale, so they can't attack us. Let's,
Defender of the Everqueen.
Let's use that as an opportunity to get friendly with some people. So it looks like Yavathal, this gate here, this Phoenix Gate, is controlled by this faction. It would be cool to be friends with them, because then we could use the gate to get to the north side of the island.
Receive your petition in the name of the Phoenix King.
So I would love it if we could be dudes, and I will join your war against Safari to prove my devotion.
Most astute.
Cool. So now, not only have we done that and gotten ourselves a little bit of extra reputation and stuff here, but being at war with Safari will generate a little bit of positive rep with all of the other people they're at war with. And I don't think we've taken on any additional danger here. We need to actually meet these people, though. Well, now that I'm allowed to travel through Avalorn's territory, we can make that happen. Actually, let's grab Tree Singer Toltirin and sail out. Right? I don't think there's any benefit to just sitting in the forest. So here, we'll run up to here. We'll jump in the water at the beach by Evershale. We'll swing through this thing, and we'll just sail around and meet all the other High Elves.
Protector ready.
And you should harass this army in some way. They have a dude, and I wish they didn't.
Be taught a lesson. Duty fulfilled.
Alright, excellent. That army is considerably weaker now. And everything's coming up Millhouse over here. So this I think we will put the money into. I want to be able to recruit Zotes. Do I want to just recruit the Zote into the Sisters of Twilight army? Like we can merge 2 of these injured units and grab up some big monstrous Zotes to fight all these enemies, because like I do want to see them in action. I'm pretty excited about it. You guys are anti-infantry, not specifically anti-large, though.
When do we fight?
I'm gonna do it. Let's fold up these 2 units.
Bring me battle.
Hold on,
Itching
there we
for
go.
Fresh battle.
We're gonna grab the Zotes even though they're expensive, because I just want to get to use them. Okay, and this is also definitely worth continuing to push. Let's make money! Okay, that's a good use for that big pile of gold we had assembled. Okay, another ambush laid. This Wow. That's incredible. This High Elf faction is very ambush-based. I don't really know what Elithanar's whole deal is, but I know that he's very sneaky and ambushy. So it makes sense that he did that. And then the Skaven managed to perfectly move between the two armies that he couldn't see, which is, I would say, it's like a tiny bit fishy. Well, now we got to go reclaim Venom Glade. The good news is we'll be at full health here. Our replenishment is such, and we'll just give him the zotes. We'll just zote him right up. Oh no, we aren't at full health because this wasn't my territory at the beginning of my turn.
So bored. So
Well, that's actually very annoying.
patient.
If we don't take Venom Glade now, Elithanar will take it, so we do need to go and win this battle.
Yes, agreed.
I'm pretty annoyed that Tretch managed to steer perfectly around all of the ambushes that were awaiting
A
him.
regrettable necessity.
Alright, the auto-resolver is not going to be kind to us here. I don't think this should actually be a big deal. They do have 4 units of flamethrowers, which is a little concerning, because that is a heavily armored ranged unit, but it's only kind of ranged, right? It's pretty short, and they don't really have anything to keep us from just, like, running stuff into it. They have almost no melee at all. I just don't even count Skaven Slaves as units. They're not real. Ooh, bad gamble. Well, I mean, this is what happens. You roll the dice. Where, like, the terrain is pretty not flat. I think we want to take advantage of this. We want to put, like, our ranged units. Man, ordinarily I would put my archers right here and use this hill as cover from their more direct fire stuff, but these trees will absorb arrows. That still might be the right place. Let's have the Glade Guard do this thing. You know what? I really need to replace. It's hard to want to lose Golden Chevron ranged units, but we should replace all these Glade Guard with the versions that have upgraded arrows now that we have the capacity for that. So let's pull our flying ranged cav over here, and then we have lots of other flying units. The Zotes, we want them to have to travel through the trees before they're even a threat to us. I don't think I'm going to take advantage of our Vanguard deployment this time. I think I want to be over here. We massively have the range advantage, and we want them to have to walk to us. So you guys will be right there, and we got a variety of spellcasters and whatnot. I'm going to deploy you all the way forward. How far is your attack range? It's pretty considerable. Same deal for you. Just make it real awkward for the enemy to approach. And then, I don't know, you're going to cast some spells or something. So let's open up the battle with a little bit of the old Arcane Conduit. Now keep in mind, they have the ability to summon units from underground, like right directly on top of us. We do care about that. I'm going to roll forward here, and we're going to try to do a quick Dragon Breath on one of the more dangerous units. Oh hey, they have Jezzails. That's right, they do have one unit of basically sniper rifles. I'm gonna come over here and we're gonna Dragon Breath like these guys. Okay, that didn't really do as much damage as I was hoping. We don't want to flee on the axis of their fire. Really? All of my ranged units are gathered up right here, and they chose to summon their weak melee unit in my melee. Alright, well, break those guys. That should be pretty fast. So, they have a couple units of actual melee that we do have to try to pay attention to. This is what I was hoping to be able to easily hit. Boy, where are they even? They have a bunch of busted up garbage. Yeah, clan rats with shields, like we kind of care about. The storm vermin with the halberds are the ones that I'm most concerned about. Let's have you guys maybe change sides here. Because we're gonna give them a volley. And you are probably in range to do it right now. So I bet we can burn through those things really quickly. Let's definitely be in anti-melee mode. Go ahead and summon in the extra eagle. And I think what I really want to do with a lot of our flying units is after these things get close enough to start taking archer fire, we fly the flying units past them and create some targeting baffles, basically. Give them lots of reason to change directions. Alright, Gwendolyn, go deal with that, please.
Sisters of Twilight!
Let's give them a couple of great big volleys here. Tretch was standing right on top of them, which is helpful as well. Okay, so I have a lot of strong feelings about these Zotes, but we have to be careful with them. Oh, they have spells. Neat. Okay, that's very cool. I have a lot of strong feelings about these Zotes. We got to be careful they don't end up in combat with those Halberd Storm Vermin, who will absolutely obliterate them. Halberd Storm Vermin are so good at fighting large units. But I do think we're going to start the cavalry moves now. So you guys run over here. So right as we're about to engage, we'll flesh to stone on this front. The question is, they've left themselves sort of thin on melee. It's just like slaves, so do I just have the Zotes run directly at the Warpfire Throwers, maybe? You can see here, this unprepared for Lightning Strike battle, this is the 5-point leadership debuff from me having pressed the Lightning Strike button. Also, I think this is the moment where we have a lot of the flying units just move forward and begin to become a problem. I'm gonna overcast a Dwellers Below on these guys. Kind of hold them in place, and I think we'll run the Zotes out like this. We'll try to have these two push around the side. Again, just creating a situation where it's awkward for the enemies to know which side they need to be facing. And you guys, I mean, do we want to stay focused on... Where did those Halberd Storm Vermin go? Did I just, like, totally lose sight of them? I did. We didn't kill them, did we? I don't think so. Unfortunately, there's a lot of places where they have units on top of each other so much that we literally can't see the different... cannot tell which flags are which. Okay, yeah, I guess you guys just shoot at something. Yeah, this is fine. Tretch was right over here, but he's probably gone stealth on us. Not a lot we can do about that, sadly. It's probably time to move some of this stuff up. Just in case. We don't want Tretch appearing in the ranged. I needed to lead that slightly more. But you can see it's doing some pretty good damage in the area. Don't stop and fight the Skaven slaves. Oh, they're not gonna like the outcome of that. You don't actually want to be fighting her. Right, let's cast Acorns, which is just that same spell again. It's pretty nice to have a couple versions of it. Okay, and now that the enemies are distracted, now is the time for charging. Okay, so we'll break those guys down real fast. The Eagle's got this under control. Gwendolyn is doing some fine work on these Jezzails. Listen, if the primary value of him being over there is distraction, that is absolutely acceptable. I think I'm going to have you just dive bomb those guys. And our Lord could shoot some more Dragon Breath. We have some armor-piercing missiles. Let's Eagle Quiver, Tretch Craventail. And then our Spell Singer, do we want... I don't think we want another Eagle. I think I'm just going to do some buffs and debuffs over here. Let's start with a Curse. Do a great big Curse of Rare. And our melee should have that under control. Now they do have a unit of Death Globe Bombardiers. These are basically they're throwing grenades. They're throwing gas grenades, little glass globes that are full of poison. So we should deal with that. Somebody should come over here and deal with that. This might be a land a dragon on their heads kind of situation. Wow, that's that ability does pretty solid work. All right, go give him a hug. Actually, open with a dragon breath, then go give him a hug. Well, let's have the spell singer fall back. She's taking a little bit of ranged fire from some units that don't matter very much, but still. Alright, her arcane thing is off cooldown. Yep, dragon work is going well. The skaven were defeated very easily by our spellcasters. And let's pull up some dwellers below. Right over here. A huge number of their units are fleeing. Here's those storm vermin. They returned just in time for my volley to come off cooldown. Wow, that's a rough one. Who's fleeing? What's... Oh, yeah, okay. I did commit those eagles pretty deep. That makes sense. So, we got some permanent breakages over here. We could have the Legendary Lord continue to push these units. I'm not too worried about it. This Great Eagle should definitely stay on the Warp Fire Throwers, but I think we're going to turn the Lord around and work some of this stuff. So, do we want to stay in the air? Honestly, I don't think so. I think that this is a situation where we can just dive bomb. And you may as well Eagle Bow speed augment yourself. Just get over there and get the thing done. We don't have a lot of Winds of Magic because we just spent a whole lot very quickly. And all of our archers have very little to do. I'm not paying attention to my Zotes at all. We're not even getting to see all of the cool Zoting that they're doing. I guess you guys, like, reform over here. Where are my Zotes at? Okay, they're killing stuff. We haven't gotten to see their animations, though. Go toward those guys instead. I think the stags have this under control. Let's watch our Zotes actually catch somebody. They are trampling a lot of Skaven to death just sort of accidentally. Yeah, look at the size differential. Like, wow. A Zote over there hit that Skaven so hard that he was reduced to a sort of a red mist. Alright, we have a lot of these Skaven units that, like, broke and now are thinking, well, maybe I'll come back into the fight now that they're distracted. But they're not gonna be too happy with the outcome of that. Tretch is doing stealthy stuff. Let's have Ariel come over here. Oh, it looks like their whole army broke real bad. Everybody kill Tretch Craventail. Don't let him get away. It's a lot of arrows. I don't think we're going to get him. He's a little fast. Alright, that's fine. That was a pretty good victory, and definitely a better one than the Auto-Resolver would have given us there. The Auto-Resolver doesn't know about, like, tactics and stuff. Like, to be clear, in case you're unfamiliar, the Auto-Resolver does not simulate a battle. It just does some math. There are some Auto-Resolver weights on the units, and it's not just like add up the numbers. It's a little more complicated than that. You know, it like considers ranged units and how much ammo they have and stuff, but it will not produce a battle that looks like... It will not produce an outcome that looks like the outcome of a battle. We would not have lost 26 bodies if we'd hit Auto-Resolve, that's for sure. So, now that we've got the Venom Glade, we've broken Tretch Craventail, and we killed him in the settlement, which means his whole army is wiped out. We should be locally fairly safe from Clan Rictus for the moment, because we've killed a lot of stuff over here recently. I'm hoping that this will lead to a couple of turns of them just having to sit back and recover, and we will push them during that time.
Blessed by the season.
Ooh, False Anvilsmith seems like a fine follower. Also, you know, the Forge. Oh yeah, please. Please perfect my pendant. I love a good pendant. Alright, let's go ahead and grab this. We'll finish off our legendary yellow line, and then we'll figure out what to do with the other skill points later. We do go through we go through our winds of magic very, very quickly with this army. All of our spellcasters are very mana hungry. There are some schools of casting. Let's take Life Bloom first. There's some schools of casting that are like relatively efficient. You spend your magic over a longer time. Alright, so we'll repair this. We'll try once again to get this thing going. Unfortunately, we are now going to have to spend the entire turn in Venom Glade, and it's entirely possible that we are going to get sick from it. We're -2 public order? Why do we have -8 public order from faction? What is the source of that? We don't have any... No, in fact, we have +5 public order from a temporary buff, so when that wears off, this is going to get really ugly. Where's that -8 coming from? Well, that's concerning. Okay, I mean, we'll figure it out, I guess. Right, Tree Singer Toltirian, you have an important diplomatic mission to fulfill. And it looks like the elves are content to just not even take this skull reef, so we'll get something out of that. Alright. I'm not sure if I want to reveal whether or not they're skaven in Hotex column. If I do this, it won't just tell us, it will also tell Nagaryth, and I'm a little concerned about Nagaryth taking this. I might just try to remove this guy from the map. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. Oh, right, I just performed an assassination. I'm exhausted. Then I will scout. They probably control the Twisted Glade, right? Oh, yes, they certainly do. And in fact, they have lots of military units still. Well, that's not great. They really do want a port. I mean, if we had gone south, it wouldn't have been much better. We would have had to make it all the way down to Arnheim. Yeah, alright. Well, this is ugly. Alright, please don't get plagued. So they're reinforcing Hotex column, which is definitely a Skaven settlement. This might not be as easy as I thought it was going to be. I kind of underestimated the amount of army that they had. As a Skaven player, if you're willing to have most of your armies be Skaven slaves or clan rats, you can run a whole lot of units, because the upkeep on those things is extremely small. Black Orc known as Grimgor Ironhide has made a call to war. This is stuff that's happening way to the east. We don't have to care about this. Alright, can you reach Hotex column from here? Yeah, go. Wow, 1,000 gold to search that ruin. That's wild. Go tell me what's up with that. It looks like it's plagued. So what is the army that's in there? We can't exactly see, but we know they have a Hellpit Abomination that has a rule called Too Horrible to Die, in case you have any questions about what that thing's deal is. They have a Brood Horror, they have everything we can see is high tier. And then Hotex column itself has 19 units in its garrison and proper walls.
When do we fight?
That's a problem. That's a real problem. Alright, here's my plan. I'm going to just sit on the road. I know it's got a lower ambush success chance, but we have a lot of bonuses to this. This might work. I'm going to sit on the road here. Hope that we can draw that army out. And then if we do draw that army out, we have to send Ariel out to invoke Nature's Wrath upon Hotex column. And then I don't exactly know what we do from there. We're going to have to figure something out. But that's the start of it, I think. Alright, let us go and search the Skull Reef. Now, the really good rewards are usually like this. You have to fight a foe, so a small army like ours can't pull the big rewards. Other people are already getting the good treasure. We can wait for them to leave, and then pick up a little bit, and that's what we're going to be doing for now. Pirate coves are some of the world's most elusive places, where the wealth of local sea brigands is secretly kept and fiercely defended. It seems that today may be your lucky day, as your lookout in the crow's nest claims to have spotted one, a small island cave next to which a black ship is moored. The ship belongs to an infamous fleet of vampire pirates, and it appears there are zombie deckhands transferring treasure chests onto the ship right now. It's an opportunity for a big payday, but these unliving sea dogs certainly won't give up their wealth too easily. The difficulty of these battles is a little bit random. Sometimes it's like a full army, sometimes it's only like 8 units. But in any case, they definitely would crush our tiny little army. So we'll wait for them to leave and then... Yeah, okay. Steal 1,500 gold that is left over. And... sail fast. Okay. Lots of positive feelings about me. Not so much that they would like non-aggression pact with me, though, obviously. What about you guys? We're trending toward 33 with you. Not enough to allow for military access. Alright, it's fine. Listen, we just needed access to a beach somewhere. So we're starting to build up a pretty large chunk of money again. But we should probably be using that to upgrade our money-making structures. And I guess just keep checking in with these guys. At some point, a defensive alliance will be possible, but honestly, 43 might be too low. We may have to heal that forest up via other means. I mean, we're working toward a technology that gives us some forest healing, right? Hopefully that'll work out for us. Can I get a little bit of assistance? I don't know where that Nagaroth army went, but let's call his attention
when Loic dances, so shall I.
Over to these guys. Hold on, let me make sure I select the army, not the settlement. It's a little bit of insurance in case they don't wander into my stuff. What's up? Military alliance? Absolutely not. Okay, Clan Rictus keeps falling for my bullshit.
It will be a glorious battle. This is the price you pay.
Keep in mind we're standing in our own territory, so we're going to get a pretty significant refill here. And they were showing as though the balance of power bar underneath their thing showed them as roughly as powerful as we were before that ambush happened. So we're in a real good spot here. Uh-oh. Our friends Trace and Avalorn went to war. Well, I sure hope Avalorn wins that. It's going to be a problem, though, because now both of them are going to have a negative diplomatic modifier with us on account of us having treaties with their enemies. So that's a shame. Okay, we need talismans and enchanted items. We have a lot of empty slots here. Let's go for a new talisman. We did finish researching Lilith the Maiden. We can get more spell singers now. We got an eagle mask. Okay, that seems fine. Ah, damn it. My army caught the plague. Okay, well... what are we going to do about that? What are we going to do now? We should probably pick up some of this fancy stuff. So... reload time reduction for the whole army seems great. Let's grab that. And now... How many turns is this going to last? Oh, that's right. On armies, it doesn't have a listed duration. 6 turns left on Venom Glade. It got infected like 4 turns ago. Ugh. And their tiny army here is not plagued. And it's actually made up of good units, too. Okay, well, here's what we're going to have to do. Do we have a stance that disables...
We will stamp out these rats.
In the encampment stance, we're immune to attrition. Does that work? No, it doesn't. Plague attrition is special. Okay, well... shit. So we're not going to be able to attack Hotex column, that's for damn sure. Can we see the health of the units in the garrison at all? No, we have no idea. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do that until we recover. Yeah, a lot of the... wow, some of the units in the garrison at Venom Glade are very sick indeed. Look at that, 560 remaining health. spread over 100 units.
Twin defenders of the Glades.
Shit. Alright, well, we're not in terrible shape right now. I'm going to sit right here in ambush mode. We may be able to get Morphific to wander into us while we're still relatively healthy. Oh. Lord Daith does not have a thing. We can just pay our respects and leave. Or we can improve the effectiveness of our eagle bow, which I don't... It doesn't say that it's going to reset the progress on it, right? I guess we should take that, because it doesn't say it's going to reset the progress. Seems like there's no reason not to.
Bring me battle.
She will break it immediately.
Alright, let's get you that eagle mask. And then we still don't have any loose enchanted items. You should definitely take on this anvil smith. Oh, and then I should probably actually, like, spend the skill point. That was the reason I clicked on you in the first place. Yeah, let's hope these guys wander into us while we're still healthy here. We'll burn them in the ambush, and then we'll figure things out from there. The faction that we were at war with is dead, so we don't need to be too worried about leaving ourselves in march mode in a dangerous spot. A convoy of trading ships carrying myriad precious goods across a nearby sea trade route have been brought low by the angry sea god Stromfels, much to the chagrin of wealthy merchants and investors back at their home ports. Knowing that such a wreckage could be a highly profitable salvage opportunity, you sail toward the area, but sadly everybody else is already stealing from it. Again, patience. Having decided to wait to discover the fate of the convoy's wreckage, you eventually receive word that several deadly sea battles took place at the site. Allegedly, very few ships managed to get in and out of the area with anything of any value without being set upon by murderous rivals. I want to be a murderous rival? Alright, well that's going to have to do for right now. I don't think it makes a lot of sense for us to sail out much further. There's a lot of hostile stuff out on the sea, and we are in no shape to deal with any of it, so let's just head back to the Vale. But getting to meet people was good for us. Feeling any better about me now? Nope. Okay. How are we doing with you guys? We're still trending upward with you. We're only taking 3 points of reputation damage from the treaties with Avalorn. That's nice, at least. So let's see. Trace is showing strength rank 40. Avalorn is showing 74. Yeah, Trace is going to take them over. That's really awkward for me, because we don't have military passage negotiated with these guys. Maybe we could fix that? And I will break my military access pact with Avalorn? Is that still likelihood of success low? What if I just gave you a whole bunch of money? How about 5,000 gold units? Okay, they'll consider it. Alright, we'll come back next turn when our stuff has trended a little bit higher. We're close, though. It said likelihood moderate. We are at least kind of close. I'm going to keep trying to take their heroes off the board. Okay, so these things both give high elf relations. Construction cost down for all buildings. We don't have a lot of spells. We don't have any high magic casters. I think Ariel knows one high magic spell. We do have some Lore of Life stuff, and also just forest health every turn. That seems great. I don't want to upgrade that. This might be worth it. Yeah, this is totally worth it. More money. Always more money. Damn high elf politics. Everything's always got to be so complicated. This is why people don't get along with elves. My man just ran clean through my ambush. Yeah, my ambush was foiled. He saw us at the beginning of his turn. Well, they burned down the Venom Glade, which is not... I mean, I sort of don't care. This plague situation really sucks. This was a very effective move from them. Oh, something's going on over to the east. Somebody declared war on everybody. I think that was a Bretonnian civilization that declared war on all of the elves. Is that what I saw? Oh no, Visseland. Visseland is Empire. These guys are east of the mountains that are east of the Great Oak. And yeah, they just declared war on every Wood Elf faction. That's probably not a big deal. We haven't met those guys, so we probably don't have vision of them. Oh no, we do. 70, okay, strength rank 73. It's not really that big of a threat, probably.
These skaven make a woeful mob.
Alright, well let's kill this army.
Attack? Absolutely.
This is the last thing we're going to be able to do with our army for a little while until the plague wears off.
Battle. A regrettable necessity.
We absolutely would not have lost 99 units if we had done that manually, but also, you know, my real-world human minutes are worth something. Okay, so that's the last spell skill point. She is now as good of a caster as she will ever be. And what do we want to do next with you? Wow, that's a pretty significant boost to any kind of shock cavalry. Ammunition, 25% during forest battles. We do fight a lot of forest battles. I think that's reasonable. And then Ariel can get Greater Arcane Conduit, which just seems great. And then we'll come back and we'll grab these. So this is every time you cast, a little bit of healing on your units. This is every time you cast for 10 seconds, everybody gets 10% physical resistance. Things like this are a good reason to not always be overcasting huge nukes. So now that we have a couple of these, we'll have to consider maybe like periodically casting small spells. And this is for 8 seconds every time you cast, all your dudes get plus missile damage. Okay.
Serene Nestra.
Tempestuous Arahan.
Yeah, and then I guess we just go hide in the woods. I don't think I want to
Urge with shadow.
settle Venom Glade again. Not while we're still plagued, because we'll go down to like critically low troop levels and we won't be able to replenish. We just gotta wait until the plague ends. And actually looking at the borders, it looks like Venom Glade's not necessary anyway, right? We actually, Val's Anvil borders Hotex Column. So we just need Hotex Column and the Twisted Glade to have a functional port. Unfortunately, Treesinger Toltiran can't get back to the Vale without trespassing on Trace territory now. So we're gonna head up here, but he may just stay outside of Evershale until we can get the military access going. And it looks like Avalorn is about to be wiped out.
What quest would you make of the Phoenix King?
Alright, what if I can't attack Avalorn? That would dramatically reduce our reliability, which would be very bad for us. That everybody would refuse to trust us for a long time. So really the only move we have here that doesn't have like huge long-term consequences is please asking very nicely. Alright, I'm going to try something. I don't think this is going to work, but let's offer them all of it. I'm pretty sure that the AI stops considering gold beyond a certain amount.
Your will is done.
Oh. No, okay, that's actually great. We really needed that, and that money we can make more money. We have lots of people to kill. So I'm pretty happy about that one, actually. You should like stand over here and keep an eye on the Twisted Glade, see if any more reinforcements are coming. But yeah, now we just gotta wait out the quarantine. It's getting a little too real in here, Total War Warhammer. Clan Rictus currently has 0 military units. The bar is completely yellow. Under normal circumstances, I might try to negotiate a peace treaty at this point. They've got to be scared of us, and we can maybe make some money that way. But I think that probably what we will do here is just, you know, Hotex Column will suffer from the plague. And then as soon as our replenishment turns back on, we'll have Ariel rush over, Nature's Wrath them, and then rejoin our army on the next turn and we'll blow them up. Sadly, a hero cannot do a map action and then rejoin an army in the same turn, so if we want her for the battle, we do have to wait. And I think I do. She seems great. Yep, the sisters are Our plague and only time may rid them of this malady, and we have no idea how much time.
How tiresome.
Venom Blade's not sick anymore, though. 3 turns left on the plague and Hotex column. Can you be an annoyance here?
Cripple them. Mission successful.
We can have Varcio attack the building that is creating the walls. Maybe punch some holes in the walls for us to get through. But it doesn't seem like super relevant. Alright, so now that I'm allowed to just travel over all this territory, we're just going to do that. We're just going to wander over here and get our camera stuck in the Great Vortex for a while. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't really do anything about all of the public order stuff that's going on. I mean, it's just kind of... For the moment, all we're doing is waiting out this damn disease. I do really wish that I don't know why it doesn't display a duration on armies. I'm assuming that mechanically it's because it does not have a duration on armies. It's it coming and going is determined in some other way. But even if that's the case, they should make that a little clearer. So Evershale has proper walls and defenses. Trace might struggle to take it. But honestly, I hope that they do. I hope this gets resolved. I don't want to have these two at each other's throats on my border forever. Alright. Y'all are still sick. At least you're not really taking damage from it very much anymore, but that shit needs to end because we have things to do.
blesses us with incomparable strength.
No, you failed.
Forest defender.
Yeah, I guess just attack their garrison building. Where is that? Oh, there's... they could squish these down a little bit and jam some stuff underneath there. Yeah, let's attack this. The walls, and this is improving their tower projectiles, and it's creating garrison and stuff. Let's mess that up. We unfortunately do not get to see whether it actually did punch any holes. I think you have to use an army to see that. But you can just do damage to the walls and then have there be holes in the enemy's walls. Why are you not moving? There we go. Okay, next turn we'll have some more construction room in that city. We'll build probably the other money-making building, frankly. Man, if your economy is based on murder, then the whole thing just kind of grinds to a halt if the Skaven use that plague thing on you. And their armies are not getting sick at all. Like, the settlement is suffering, but the actual rats that we're going to have to fight in a second here totally are not. Also, they saw through my ambush and just chose not to attack me, and I really appreciate that. We should probably back the sisters up a little bit. Our ambush is not infallible. All of the money that I was planning on using to build and maintain this army just... it's very frustrating. Alright, even more income. So it doesn't look like we've gained a lot. I am so frustrated by the fact that I am still sick. What the fuck? Alright, back up and ambush over here.
An ambush. How delicious.
Yeah, this is very frustrating. All of our mechanics are gone until we are no longer sick.
I will show them true valor.
Alright, we successfully wounded that guy out of the army. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do to inflict any permanent damage on a hero with this hero. Some heroes that are particularly adept at that thing have the assassinate action instead of the wound action, and they can do a permanent kill. I would love to be able to permanently kill some of these dudes. I don't know which of our heroes does that. I will say, I think the plague mechanic's a little frustrating. In that it's just never very effective when you're a player. I think the fact that there's so much randomness involved, like, maybe it'll spread to something this turn, maybe it won't, and then when it's on an army, it's like, are they going to be sick for 1 turn or 70? Makes it really... I wouldn't necessarily say it's unfair, but it is frustrating to engage with as a player, because its mechanics are really opaque and they feel really arbitrary. There's probably a thing they could solve. That feeling is a thing they could solve with just some clearer communication about how it actually works. Okay, we're not sick anymore. Excellent. Let's take... Now we actually have a whole bunch of buildings. Let's take an income boost. Yeah, that was a little bit more than 250, right? So 10 turns of that is going to turn out to be better. Okay. Now we have to sit still for 2 more turns. Oh, right, I'm exhausted. Let's do something easier. Let's do something that's... Man, maybe let's not do anything this turn. Our success chances are really poor. Let's just follow Tretch around. Keep an eye on his treachery. Because he's sneaky. Get it? Okay, Elithanar took the monoliths somehow. That's pretty weird. Tretch is probably going to deal with that. Yeah, man, we got sick and it just like kind of turned off our game for like 6 or 8 turns there. At least starting with this turn, we'll be in a position where we can attack. Okay, Avalorn was destroyed. That's fine. We're just as good of friends with the people who replaced them. Nagarond declared war on Clan Rictus, which is really good news for us because it means that Clan Rictus's military attentions will have to be devoted northward. Otherwise, Nagarond is just going to completely roll them over. And then that will give us a chance to steal that port, and then obviously we're going to have to deal with Nagarond ourselves. It's not totally ideal, but it should help us break this like stalemate that's going on over here. Okay, so now we're feeling a little bit healthier. You can grab scouting? Chance to steal magic items from enemies. Or, okay. You know what, we'll take Cleanse Corruption. We're going to be heading into some pretty corrupted lands here in a moment. The Skaven have just left rat stink everywhere. And listen, I love rats. I'm very pro-rat, but rat stink is a real thing, and it can be very powerful. So, these two aren't at war anymore. We shouldn't expect an army to move this way, which is a real shame, actually. I would really like to be able to set that same ambush we keep setting. So I'm going to move back to here. Fortunately, these two are actually outside of the settlement, so we can roll over there and pick them off with our Lightning Strike ability.
Highborn daughter.
Where did Tretch go, do we think? Why don't we scout this? I mean, I'm sure that this is Skaven, but I want to see if Tretch is in there. It looks like he is not. Alright, and next level you get to become immortal.
Skaven make a woeful mob.
Oh wow, this is part of the same region as Storag Core? This is a big province. It doesn't even have proper defenses. They're gonna lose that to Dark Elves, like, immediately. Alright, we don't have any more upgrades we can pursue here. How much money would it be to unlock some more building slots? 11k? We actually have a lot of income now. Our income's getting pretty good. I'm going to let it build for a moment or two, but this will be a good time to start recruiting, and then we can potentially fight some of these events on the edges of our territory. We could go world route over to some other places and actually pursue confederations. So we have no idea at all what Nagarond is doing, and I do not like that. We might want to recruit another scout hero. You want a military alliance still, and I'm still never going to give that to you. Although I suppose at this point, the likelihood that they would harm us is pretty low. Because, like, what are they going to do? Declare war on Nagarond? We're already in that war. And honestly, us not controlling Venom Glade might be for the best. Because it might mean the Dark Elves are less likely to attack us. Alright, all the major port owners have become known to each other via diplomacy. We do not get to play. We do not get to be part of that deal. Alright, so these two stacks are still looking pretty small for the moment. And they're not actually inside the settlement, so let's sweep in here and chew up Skrull. Lightning Strike. It is felt that that we are not up to the task.
We fight for the forest.
I don't agree. I think we can probably handle this. And then when we attack the other army that's just a lord, we can not lightning strike, and the garrison of the city has to show up as reinforcements to the battle. I believe they do not get the option to not do that. And we can make short work of them in the field so that we don't, well, maybe not short work, but we can defeat them at least, hopefully, in the field and not have to give them the advantage of their walls. We'll see. We'll see how much damage I actually take here. I'm a little nervous. It doesn't look like it should be that hard. They have gunners, but we have the volley of Kurnis, which should make dealing with those a lot easier. And then, of course, they got huge monsters, but we have arrows. Arrows are good against huge monsters. I think this is a situation where we actually can just set up the melee in front of the ranged, because they don't really have a lot of range to come at us with. I'm still going to do it this way. Actually, is this even where we want to be set up? Maybe we want to be a little higher on the hill here. Yeah, so we'll do that. Put you guys right behind them, ready to run forward. And then, you know, cavalry off to the side in menacing positions. We'll hide our Zotes in the woods. No, nobody will know. Everybody will be really surprised.
Glade, Captain!
I really like the idea that halfway through the battle, the Zotes are going to run out of the woods, and our enemies are just going to be like, "What the hell is that? I have never seen one of those before. That can't be real." Once again, a lot of this is just about like making it annoying for them to do stuff, making it hard for them to know which side they need to be paying attention to. Alright, so the Great Eagle just runs that way, in the hopes of being very confusing. Let's get Gwendolor out here as well.
Power of the forest!
Actually, sorry. Gwendolor, run more like this. That's a safer route. Alright, and let's get... Oh, don't you? You have Volley of Kurnis, huh? I wonder why I can't select that as part of a group attack. Okay, the Volley of Kurnis is pretty solid. Let's make sure that we're getting our good spells off. So I am going to overcast a Dwellers Below. These are Storm Vermin. Yeah, these are real units that we do have to be afraid of. And then our actual wizard. Oh, I should have hit that at the beginning of the battle. I think we're going to wait for their good melee to get close and curse them. I don't know that this is a battle where I particularly want an extra giant eagle. I don't think that's the right move. Let's have you guys step out. I mean, we can approach at this point. They're all well within our range. The reason I like to put my melee behind my archers at the beginning of a battle is so that enemy archers can't move to the edge of their own fire range and shoot my melee while still being out of range of my own stuff. Once our archers are close enough to do damage, there's no reason to hold back. So Gwendolor, these are death globes. You can see they're ranged, but they're very short range. They got to get right up on top of us. Gwendolor should get over here. Do the Stag Knights have anti-large? They do, right? Yeah, but not a lot. Okay. So having them charge one of these monsters is maybe a good idea. Speaking of these monsters, by the way, this is what we're up against. It's, yeah. Too weird to live, too horrible to die. It's definitely a problem, and there's two of them, and it's good that a lot of our melee have anti-large, but it's still going to be pretty scary. Let's have you focus in on that with your anti-large ammo, and in fact, Eagle Quiver it as well. And I mean, we don't really have... We do have Amber Spear now, which is This one. Pretty good at just throw this directly into a monster. In fact, we have range for this right now, don't we? Yeah, it's pretty long ranged. Let's go ahead and throw that through that dude. And you can start casting some of this stuff. Try to lead those guys enough. And I think we're gonna have all of the archers focus on this abomination as well. The big danger with large monsters is that they're so easy to shoot. And you have considerable anti-large. And also you reduce the magic resistance of enemies. Okay, so we don't want to reveal the Zotes just yet. When the monsters join the line, we'll have them charge in and flank. Yeah, so it's hard to know exactly what to do with all these units. Gwendolor's doing that. Where's my normal eagle? The normal eagle ran its route and nobody cared. It did a thing that was meant to be distracting, and it distracted no one. Okay, that big arrow did some damage. So yeah, you can see big monsters, real easy to get all of the fire on them. This time they were smart enough to summon their underground reinforcement unit into the melee at least. We can chop that up real fast. The Hawk Riders. Sorry, the Hawk Riders should probably also be focused. Try to burn one of the Hell Pit Abominations before it actually makes contact. We need to keep an eye on these wolf rats, because they're definitely going to try to flank. Fortunately, we have this cliff that we set up on. Should make it pretty awkward for them. Alright, that spell is out. Let's cast some more spells. Okay. It didn't seem that too horrible to die. So all of the ranged, again, focus very hard on these things. And I'm going to have our hero move out in front and then dive bomb that thing in the back. Their lord is just a generic Skaven warlord. We don't have to be too stressed about that. Gwendolor, do this. You guys do that. Yeah, your plan is still to attack those guys. And it's looking more and more like we're not going to even need the Zotes against the large things, so I think we're just going to wait until these guys get into contact with my melee and then Zote them in the back. We do want to make sure contact gets made, though, because there are spears. Alright, there comes the flanking charge.
Glade, Captain!
Swap our hero into melee mode, and honestly, it's probably... Never mind.
I will!
Never mind, just hang out and shoot. The thing's under control. Alright, Zote him good. Boy, I would not have wanted to be on the close side of that. Look at these things. Just very, very terrifying, and also combat is gross. Okay, so they summon some more Skaven in my lines. How do I want to deal with that? I'm going to have our hero dive bomb them. I guess you guys can turn around and deal with them. We do have, we're taking a lot of damage on our melee units here. A lot more than I would like. And we're all up in their ranged and everything, but unfortunately they just have pretty elite melee on this one. So you guys are about to receive a charge, it looks like. I guess try to... Oops, that's backwards. Try to form up against that a little bit. Let's get some of these ranged units to turn around and handle this. Let's burn them down real fast. And also, everybody in guard mode. Do not chase. So most of the healthy units are over here. Let's get our Hawk Riders over here in preparation for volleys against those things. You can see there, the leadership of those rats is decreasing very rapidly. Boy, they did a lot of damage on initial contact, though. Look at how hard that hurt. It hurt so big. Okay, well, that did not go as well as I thought it was going to go, and that does complicate things a little bit for that second attack I was talking about. We have a lot of damaged melee. So if you're wondering why health levels look so different in battle than they do here, it's because in battle, each figure in a unit has a certain amount of health, right? If we have 80 archers and the unit of archers has 8,000 health, then obviously that's divided evenly over those 80 archers. In battle, the health bar you see is a combination of all of the unit's current health levels. Outside of battle, figure for individual health for individual figures in the unit isn't tracked. Every figure in a unit that contains more than one figure is considered to be at full health. So this archer unit could have been at half health in the battle, meaning each body in there was at roughly half health, and then they would appear at full health on this screen because at the end of battle all of the figures heal up. The only figures that have persistent health out of battle are ones that are alone in their unit, like a hero or a lord. Or a great big monster.
Serene Nestra.
Tempestuous Arahan.
Okay, so we got an Elder Scout, which is a pretty good follower. Alright, if we temporary buff the quiver, it will lose all its upgrade progress. So we'll just pay our respects and leave.
Awaiting
I
duty.
want one too.
Oh, wait. Okay, it did downgrade my bow. The message just wasn't there. Okay, so that always happens regardless of whether or not it says it happens. That's a shame. I like my bow being high level. Let's take a buff to missile damage. Our hero unit's not, or our lord is not always sitting near the archers, but we spend a fair amount of time sitting near the archers. And obviously, we're a very missile-based army here. So, if we attack Morlock,
Smile upon us.
he'll probably just run away, right?
This is
Yeah.
a thin joke.
And now, we're inside the city's zone of control, so you see our movement is very constrained by that. However,
Even Ariel could not.
we can move up on the city and then
Fight for the
break the siege, and that will back us up enough that we can move away from the city if we want. And I think we do want to do that. I don't think I actually want to attack the city at this moment, with it having walls and stuff.
harmony shall reign.
I mean, they don't really have a lot of good ranged units, though. Maybe we could take them. I'm going to break off. So that'll let us out of that little area. And then, I mean, I think we pursue.
Their disharmony ends.
This
Yeah,
is
we
the
can
line.
finish off these two little armies pretty easily.
Accept Ariel's will.
Ooh, Armor of Fortune. Very exciting. Keep working on that corruption stuff. We'll talk about how corruption works next episode, because it is going to become relevant here. And do we want to grab Marked by Kurnus, or... You're not really running out of ammo. Some extra move speed for you would probably be good, though. For positioning purposes. Oh, you actually have had a couple of skill points. What is Wrath of the Wood? Oh, that's the missile damage one? Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
The unbridled glory of battle.
I mean, we may as well pick up Speed of the Hunter. Almost all of our units are elven units. Everything except the Zotes and the Eagle and the Dryads are getting that bonus. And then I think we're going to retreat to Venom Glade for the moment, just to get a turn of real replenishment. And we can consider attacking Hotex column next turn, now that we've weakened them. Oh, you have enough movement. Am I allowed to disengage you?
A trail of starlight.
But you can't, for some reason, can't attack Hotex column. Huh. Okay, well then just get back in the army for right now.
People shall blossom.
Maybe it's because she was engaged in a battle. I don't actually... That might be a thing. It may be the case that you can't map action
Overcome.
with a hero who was involved in a battle. No, I want to try to kill their hero, because we're no longer
Surely
exhausted.
rides with us. I will show them true valor.
Okay, excellent. Psychic Lash. So we're now way more likely to wound targets. That's a big deal. And... good to be immortal. Alright, I don't think we're going to cap out the Witchwood. This money is for other purposes. We will probably upgrade this. Oh man, that's actually quite expensive though. But as things are now, we have no recruitment buildings in Gaian Vale, and I would like to be able to recruit in the Vale, so yeah, let's do that. And of course, more income. Never enough income. Alright, so now that we've cleaned out all the skaven around here, Tretch's army went somewhere and we don't know where. Maybe we do just attack Hotex column without bothering to blow up the walls first. Oh. Okay, well, Crone Hellebrand will probably stop and destroy the Circle of Destruction before heading south. We probably don't have to worry about that right now. The fact that Naggarond just went to war with Naggarith is good for us. It means we'll be able to ask Alithanar for targeted assistance. Okay, Trace is going to war with all the Dark Elves. It's gonna end up being a whole complicated situation in this part of the map for the next little while. It will get a little bit easier to make better friends with them now that they're enemies of our enemies. What's our trend? Trending toward 52.
I will receive your petition in the name of the Phoenix King.
They're red on defensive alliance, but they have shown themselves to be vulnerable to a little bit of fiduciary persuasion in the past. Oh, still low. I've literally never seen a treaty with likelihood low succeed. Alright, well I think this is maybe where we can call it for today. That is going to be all that we have time for this episode. But when you come back next time, tomorrow, I think we're taking Hotex column, we're going to finally get control of a port, and then, maybe, just maybe, actually have a second stack of units that can help us with all this nonsense, because Lord knows we're going to need it. And we'll see you then.